everyone, and welcome to Motorcyclegear.com. Let's talk about the 5 things that I like about this 2024 Triumph Bonneville Bobber. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I am back out on the 2024 Triumph Bonneville Bobber, and I'm out here in beautiful Southern California, and today it's time to talk about the 5 things that I like about this bike. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Number 1, the power, torque, and delivery of said power and torque surprised me quite pleasantly. When you're used to sport bikes, super sports, and high-performance naked bikes, riding a bobber, cruiser, or adventure bike, or any bike that has other things in mind other than just full-on performance, like the before-mentioned sport bikes do, it can happen that you are disappointed in the power levels provided, or at least in the way the power is delivered. With that said, getting on this bike, I knew that it had a 1200cc engine that makes 77 horses and 78 foot-pounds of torque, and I knew that it was being asked to push about 550 pounds. So my expectations were, I think, realistic, and also knowing that this thing is a bobber in style, I did my best not to put unrealistic expectations on this bike. But with that said, I was quite surprised the first time I went wide open throttle on this thing and realized that it had more than enough pep for really any style of bike that was primarily used for getting around town, even more so for this style of bike with this type of a riding position. Honestly, the power is more than adequate for the weight. I think what really helps too is the fact that the torque and horsepower are almost identical, so it just makes it a bike that goes without much fuss. Even more so, this results in an excellent power delivery where it just feels like no matter what I am doing or how fast I'm going, I always have enough power to speed up and pass or get out of the way. Overall performance is really good and even better than I expected, so nicely done, Triumph. Number 2 on the list of things that I like about the 2024 Triumph Bonneville Bobber is the seat. At first glance, you look at the seat and it just looks cool, but then you get real for a second and think, man, this thing looks cool, but it can't be all that comfortable. This is probably one of those times where the looks were chosen over functionality, right? Well, wrong. Honestly, it's quite comfortable. I've done multiple 2+ hour rides without issue and had no real complaints about its position, padding, and just overall comfort. Really a great seat. And the fact that it's super low at 27.2 inches and adjustable just makes it even better. It was honestly quite the pleasant surprise when the seat not only looked great, but was also functional as well. Alright, so moving right along, number 3 on my list of things that I like about the 2024 Triumph Bonneville Bobber is going to be the brakes. Absolutely great decision here by Triumph. A perfect way to ruin this bike would be to put some weak and basic brakes on it. I just said comfort is great, power is great, and obviously the looks are great, so I'm super happy to say that the brakes continue that trend by also being great. Absolutely more than enough stopping power with dual 310mm discs at the front that are clamped by 2 piston Brembo calipers, and then on the rear there is a single piston Nissan caliper on a 255mm disc. Again, great setup, and it performs as good as it looks. Obviously, this setup is going to be a great choice from a performance standpoint, but it's also a great choice from a custom bike look standpoint. You can't have this cool custom bike look and then have low grade or more generic looking brake components. So again, nice choice here by Triumph. Alright, so moving on, number 4 on the list of 5 things that I like about the 2024 Triumph Bonneville Bobber is going to be the stock exhaust. Now, first off, it is a dual setup and it looks really good, but let's focus on the looks for a moment. This exhaust is actually kind of a trick visually, as there is a part where the pipes bend to go into the body, where the catalytic converter is hidden, along with all the things that the bike needs to be emissions compliant. But to the naked eye and looking at it from the outside, it looks like the bike has dual straight pipes, which is just cool and further pushes that custom bike look. The overall style and design fits the bike really well, so great choices were made here from a looks perspective. And then moving on from the looks onto the sound, Most stock exhausts just don't sound good and are usually too quiet, but this one honestly sounds really good and makes a good amount of noise, but especially for a stock setup. Again, this is just another part that was made to further complement the theme of this bike, and I absolutely love that. Great execution. Now, normally when I get on a bike, one of my first thoughts is, yup, needs an aftermarket exhaust ASAP. I don't really feel that here. I'd honestly be happy to stick with the stock setup, which is really rare for me to say, so again, really great work. I also personally am not usually a fan of how parallel twins sound, but again, not a problem here as this one sounds really good. Alright, so let's round it out with number 5 on my list of 5 things that I like about the 2024 Bonneville Bobber, and that is going to be how lightweight it feels and how its weight is carried. Now, 553 pounds isn't super heavy, but it isn't a super light bike either. But with that said though, this bobber just carries it so well. I'm not sure if it's a center of gravity thing, the suspension and tire setup, or what it is, but it really carries the weight super well. It doesn't feel heavy or clunky. Some bigger bikes tend to feel boat-like. This one, not a problem. It actually feels quite agile. For example, I rode a Honda Rebel 1100T back-to-back, and even though that bike only weighs 520 pounds, or a solid 33 pounds less than this bike, somehow this bike feels lighter and more agile than the Rebel. And honestly, it's by a noticeable margin too. It wasn't like a small difference. It really, it really felt substantially different. So really nicely done here by Triumph. Overall, the bike feels very poised and well put together, and it definitely is a pleasant and stable riding experience. Alright guys and gals, that's it for the 5 things that I like about the Bonneville Bobber. Be sure to visit Motorcyclegear.com as we would love to help you out with your motorcycle gear needs. You can also hit us up via phone or email, and if you would like to share your thoughts on this video or the Bonneville Bobber, feel free to drop a comment down below. Thank you all for watching. Until next time.